Hi everyone, this is Fahad Mirza, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can install and run this project Letta with Ollama, which means that we can use memory aware agents with local models so that we don't have to worry about API calls, we don't have to worry about throttling, we really don't have to worry about the cost and all that stuff. This project Letta is not new at all. This is just a rebranding of the previous project, which is called as MemGPT, and I covered MemGPT when it was released over an year ago. One thing which was really eye-catching about this project when it was released last year was its claim to be acting as an operating system for LLM, which I think was not correct at the time because all it does is one part of operating system. Operating systems in computer science mean that a software which deals with memory management, file management, process management, dealing with peripheral devices and lot of other things. MemGPT only deals with memory management primarily for the agents, and that's about it. So really I don't think so it is fair to call it LLM as operating system. LLM doesn't even manage the memory here. LLM is just one part. So this project, which is now Letta, is providing you a way to have a memory with your agents. Agents are autonomous pieces of software which accept input as natural language, and then they decide upon themselves with the help of LLM, of course, to do some actions on users behalf. They can interact with other agents, and they can do some function calls to external APIs and few other things. One of the problems, of course, with these agents is that they don't remember what they did last time, or they don't even remember um, what other agents are doing. So in order to provide them a persistent memory so that they would be aware of more context, this letter strives to give some sort of context around it, and that is the whole idea. Now in my opinion, I think let's keep it simple because this concept is quite I would say very straightforward. No need to make it over complicated. All this Letta is doing is providing a memory to the agents, and that memory gets stored in a vector store, uh, which could be SQLite or which could be Postgres, and I think it also supports Chroma. But for the purpose of this, we are just going to go with SQLite, which it creates by default. We don't have to really worry about it, which is a good thing. So let's get started. Now, one more thing, if you don't know what Ollama is, please go to my channel and search with Ollama, and you should be able to find heaps of videos around Ollama, more than I would say 700 videos, and I'm not exaggerating. So Ollama is one of the fastest and easiest way to run large language models locally, so please do check it out. So before I move forward, let me give a huge thanks to our sponsors who are AgentQL. AgentQL is a query language that turns any web page into a data source. It works on any page, it is resilient, it is reusable, it structures output according to the shape of your query, and you can extract the data from web pages very quickly, easily, and at scale. And I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Let's go to my terminal where I am running this Ubuntu 22.04. I have one GPU card NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM. I already have Ollama installed, and you see that I have few models there. So mainly I will be using Llama 3.2 as my LLM and Nomic Embed Text as my embedding model. So what happens is whatever you are writing in, and I will show you, or whatever you are talking with this letter, it is going to convert that into numerical representation or embedding with the help of this embedding model. So it is sort of a RAG too, you can say. It takes the input, converts it into numerical representation, throws into the vector store. And if you want to learn more about RAG and these sort of things, just search with RAG on the channel. Anyway, so I already have this installed. Again, if you don't know how to do this, either search my channel or just type this Llama 3.2 or Nomic Embed Text, and it is going to download this model for you. I already have both of them there. Okay, so the stage is set. Let's try to get this Letta installed. As usual, let me create my virtual environment with Conda to keep everything separate from my local system. And that is done. Next up, let's install this Letta by doing pip install upgrade Letta. Also, make sure that you install this Llama index Ollama and especially Llama index embeddings Ollama. Otherwise, it won't work, and this is not present in their documentation, which I believe need massive uplift and overhaul, especially after their rebranding. Anyway, so let's install these four things. Shouldn't take too long. And everything is installed now. Next, we need to set up environment variable. So I'm setting this Ollama's base URL where it is running on my local host at the default port. Similarly, if you want to use other Anthropic, Gemini, or OpenAI, you would accordingly set environment variable. That is how it determines which LLM to use or which provider to use, and then we can start the Letta server. You can use it in GUI, which I'm going to show you, or you can use it in the code in Python, which is also present in the documentation, but I think that needs overhaul. So they would need to test it out. Anyway, now you can see that it is running at my local host at port 8283. Let me open my browser and then paste it here. There you go. So we have our Letta running. And here you can create agents, you can create data sources. Data sources simply means that you can upload your own data to do the RAG. For example, you just want to create an agent on your own company's data. What you need to do is to just create a data source and then upload your own data with the file. It's very simple. But I think there are with Ollama, it has some. I think it doesn't work that well in my experiments. So works really well with OpenAI, which I think is quite expensive when you use with these sort of things. Anyway, and then you have tool builder. They have tools simply means the functions or the external sort of applications or internal applications. So they already have some built-in tool which the agents call. You can create your own tool or your own function. For example, you just want to integrate with your own APIs, you can create it here. And then some of the agent templates and user templates are here. For example, this is an agent template called as Sam. So for example, you can change it if you like. For instance, if I say okay Sam, maybe I'll just change its name. I'll just say okay, you are, maybe I'll just call it Sam instead of Vince. I'm saying it Sam the deal maker, so I'm just asking it to be a real estate agent who is quite smooth. You know how they are. And he was born and raised in Sydney's eastern suburb, and you know all that stuff about him. So motivations are greed, recognition, thrill of outsmarting others, and we can update it. You can create your own persona, by the way, or you could just edit any one of them. So I'm just going to go with this one just as a for fun. And then for user template, this is where you can create a new user who is trying to do something. So what I'm doing here is I have created a real estate agent profile or persona, and I also want to create, maybe I'll just edit a basic one, or you can create a new one. So for basic one, I'm just saying okay, instead of this I'll just say okay, it's a user who is Jamie. He's also from Sydney but from western suburbs. He's quite enthusiastic, slightly naive, and he's eager to own his first home but feels overwhelmed by the process. So I have created these two or edited these two. You can create it a new one too. And then you can simply go with creating agent. Maybe I'll just call it real estate. You can just call it anything you like. And then select a model. So these are the model which are already installed on my local system. I'm going to go with Llama 3.2 latest. And for embedding model, I'm going to go with the Nomic one. And then we can select agents persona, Sam, or basic for the human one. And then if you scroll down, then you can click on create agent, and you see agent has been created. And then I can click on chat here, and I can start talking with it. Hey, I want to buy a house, please help me. Let's see. So you see now agent is thinking, it is utilizing its database. It couldn't find any results. You see, Jamie Ryan has checked Jamie's information. There you go. Don't worry about it. Buying a house is a process, but I'm here to help every way of the way. And then you can just start talking with it like, should I buy a home or a unit? We call unit apartment as a unit here in Sydney. There you go. Jamie Ryan's first home buyer jitters budgets. You see, it is reading Jamie's information and thinking, and then it is checking some of the functions if it could find or not, and then you can start talking with it. But the real interesting bit here is that it is remembering what Jamie is saying, and then you can build as many agents as you want, and then if you want you can refer them through this agent ID. And if you go through their GitHub, they also have given some of the examples around using these code. If you want to, let me quickly show you the code example here, which you can check out. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. Yeah, there you go. So you can just use the CLI, and then after running it you can use it here, the same thing. But I think the easiest way of using it, if you just want to play around with agent, is at the moment this. Now, one word of caution here is, as I mentioned earlier, in my experiments it works really good with OpenAI's models, but there are a lot of issues when you use Ollama models. So for example, especially when you are doing the coding and doing the RAG with it, you will feel that it throws a lot of errors. And especially if you want to use the latest models, it really struggles with them. I think there's a support issue, but as the project is evolving, they're rebranding. So I'm expecting that there will be a lot of improvement and things will become better down the road. So that's it. That is what Letta is. Now you know how to get it integrated with Ollama. I hope that you enjoyed it. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to our good friends at Mast Compute who have sponsored the VM and GPU for this video. If you're looking to rent a GPU on very affordable prices, I will drop the link to their website in video's description, and I'm also going to give you a coupon code of 50% discount on a range of GPUs, so do check them out. Thanks a lot, and if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel.